Welcome back, Mr. Witness.
Bismillah.
Thank you. Before the lunch break, you were telling us about the procedures you underwent at the Barra police station in order to be given custody of the 50 West Africans.
Jannembida fonyondingola nu itarda ka kumenna kumo fonyewnu wala nyindiko silol men yeta jannido Africa tilijindila tilijiro o dingol nying mo tallu nyen jannibe dile la yesilol menta dola foka molian. And
you told the commission that you had to sign the register.
Nu yen fo commission ko jannibe dile la fanan inyana register nying inyana sign na le folo.
What would you say to the suggestion that there were no entries for 22nd July 2005?
In
the police diary.
Men soronta police law diary kono ko la menkeda July karo kono wandi fula 2005 sound kono ni o moy be muna fula.
I'll be shocked.
Would
that statement be true or would it be false?
No,
it will be false. What do you say to the suggestion by Gambia government that they have no record of West African migrants of about that number entering the territory of this country? What would you say to that?
Yamona so rebe mem fola niya moy mansakunda membe nunjang ye kuma ko membondi ko tolman ku saferin soto me yalon ko be sujirin ni nying Afrika tundo lay motal lol ni yalon ko bida kanun tamala aldam ila kodo imam soto blata be saferin damento ila bugol kon e mon so rebe mem fola woto.
That is far-fetched because I'm a living witness.
Yo tabila dorong barinte wo keta kulete mi aketa nyala.
And I dealt with this matter
and the phone without an
iota of doubt. Among the 50 that you received, can you give us the gender distribution? 48 were men. There were 2 females. One was from Liberia. One was from Nigeria. Sierra Leone. And the beauty is the Liberian woman, the Liberian lady looks like somebody who was so close to me. When I was running a business and she was working for me. So when I saw her, I felt some connection. I said to my mind, this looked like my former staff. And tell us how you took them to wherever you took them that day.
Silanga fanya bang yesamba bintola yesamba dingirato afanya ba yesamba nyadile.
So once I informed my boss that these were illegal migrants, and the fact of the matter is they didn't even have a needle in their possession. Let alone arms and ammunition. So I took them from the police station, escorted with the help of the armed Navy officers to the Navy boat. Then I transported them to the Navy headquarters in Banjul. At the Navy headquarters, how were they organized when you were transporting them? Sandwich, if you like.
But don't you left and suffer the wrong.
You know, the board was not very big. So they sat and you know, they sat with each other, you know. I will start one, this one here, you know.
You sit one in between the legs of the other.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they were handcuffed?
I didn't see any need for a handcuff.
You took 10 with you?
Yeah, because like the impression I was given and earlier on what I said, the impression was these are mercenaries.
When I
arrived on the ground, the people I saw and have to deal with were definitely without a doubt illegal migrants. I didn't found the need to put them on handcuffs.
Can you describe the scene when you arrived at Banjul, the Marine unit?
Birini mol furana na Banjul sojare bakono sojaro la dingira nyinto je ko nyin alhalo be nu nyame mba fi sa fono nyabang.
Yeah, once the ship anchored, we helped each of them to come out. When they came out, on this side, if you know the Navy, we kind of turned a little bit to the right. There was a ground like this. I believe that's where they used to do their drills or something like that. So I saw them on the east. I saw them on the east of the at the Navy headquarters. And I then I found there the former Inspector General of Police.
What's his name?
Usman Sonko. I believe the one who is in Switzerland. And I found the CDS.
What's his name?
Can't remember the name. I think the surname was Sar.
Did Asan Sar?
Yes. Yes, I found Asan Sar. I believe either I found some state guard officers, 3 or 4 state guard officers. Our coming and their coming must have coincided. They didn't take long to see the state guard. Because one of them I happen to know very well, Bombarde.
Can you describe him?
Bombarde
Bombarde before this day, it's a fair colored guy, with a little bit built up. Short, I would call him short. But this day, when I saw him, he appeared like a kankurang. Red. Because he attempted to walk on the, because these people were sitting with legs like this. And he attempted to walk on them. And I said to him, no, you cannot do this. I mean, the service chiefs are here.
Did he attempt to beat any of them?
No, at this stage, no. He attempted to walk on them. He probably have walked on 1 or 2. And I stopped him. That these people are tired and they are hungry.
We have received evidence that it was not only Bombardier who attempted to walk on the feet of these people, but there was also another person who was busy slapping and beating some of these people.
Na kibaro soto jamme musede ndiro ko amanke bombarde drone moti me yalongo atel tartanu katama nyu mol wutol kan waran pe singol kan par do fana soto te kono me yalongo tartanu ngabe abuldo mutare nu ngabe dol tulol bunna be tul busala ko ngolto.
I'm on national television.
The television, Gambia television.
I've taken oath. I take my work very seriously. If there were 3 or 4 that did it, I would say, to the best of my recollection, because I was in charge throughout.
Apart from Bombardier, who did you see from state guards?
Yeah, because at this stage, I have problem with going to State House with soldiers. Yeah, I'm just scared of soldiers. And the reason is, you see small boys and girls with so much authority. So anywhere there, generally, I want to go to the opposite side. Unless and until there is absolutely.
On this particular occasion, did you see any other soldiers? From State House, apart from Bombardier?
Yeah, by their outlook, the 4 of them or 5 or 6, I cannot remember. They must have been together. Because they were standing on the far end. Around the ferry end. And the service chiefs were on the Navy side. Like on the port side. And facing the east.
Okay, and what happened next?
So there, I believe, I can't say for certain. The service chiefs asked some questions. And the head of the team must have answered.
What question was asked?
As to why they were in the Gambia.
And what answer were they given?
And that they were brought by a boat commanded by their agent in Dakar. And they were abandoned on the coast, at the Bara coast. And that they were in touch with a Gambian who was supposed to pick them there and put them in the next boat. And he is they can't reach him anymore. So they got stranded where they were picked up by the police.
And to who did they say this?
To the 2 service chiefs, all of us who were there as authorities.
So from that, can we conclude that there was no reason whatsoever for our service chiefs to believe that these people were mercenaries?
What was science for no? Ko dalila teje member sabula ko na o tanko bunda nyaton kol men yalon gabe mabirinje member sababula ko yella nyinna ko nyumolu molle me yalon ko ye jole kana boy kana fitino wulinde na banko kanje ka fo mercenaries.
Not the slightest doubt.
So it is your testimony, therefore, that Ousmane Sonko and the other service chief that was present. Who was that?
Sansar.
Were fully aware that these people were migrants?
And yen kalamudala ko nyumu molel me alon ko tamala lam.
My belief is they know they didn't have a doubt. At this point.
And what happened after that?
There was a boss arranged. I found a boss there. I believe it was this GPTC boss.
GTSC.
Yes.
GPTC hasn't existed for a long time.
Okay. All right.
GTSC boss.
But there was a boss. But the boss was and we put them in the bus. And I believe I must have driven my car because my car was there. I followed them to Baba Job's compound. So around just after this Palmarima Johnson, Baba Job la Cordato, Palmarima Johnson. The first turn Maroons. I'm not sure, maybe fourth or fifth compound on the left. It's a story building.
Was that the first point of skull? That was the place you first stopped? No, from Banyu, that would be my belief. Did you pass by Kairaba station?
Oh, another time, Katani Kairaba police station or Baba.
Or Kotu police station?
Kotu police station or Baba.
That's what I'm saying. Because my impression my belief was that when we dropped them all, the 50 at the Baba Job's compound, that was when the separation came. But on a second thought, because I didn't remember going to Kairaba or something like that. So probably the boss must have passed and dropped them in these bits. Well, I knew that somewhere dropped at Kotu police. Kairaba police. And PIU at Kanifi. That I knew. But the distribution, whether they were distributed on their way to Baba Job's compound, but coming Kafoko, or they were distributed when they were all dropped at Baba Job's compound. Well, I know for certain when I left Banyu, I didn't go anywhere off to Baba Job's compound.
Did you, in the bus, did they have any escorts?
Yes, they had escorts. I believe those state guards and some Navy officers. I'm speculating them. Because at Baba Job's compound, I didn't see the Navy there. I only saw the state guards there.
Which state guards did you see there?
Bombardier and this group.
And who are they? Do you recall their names?
To be honest, I couldn't. I tried, I wish I had the opportunity to speak to one or two people.
Do you know a person called Tumbul Tamba?
Very well.
Was he there?
Without a doubt, no. I know Tumbul. Tumbul used to visit me when I was in Cape Point. I know him very well. At this point, no.
How about Musa Jame?
Musa Jame,
you did not see them?
No.
So after you left them at Baba Job's house, what happened?
Yeah, prior to leaving them there, I know when we were in the house, these state guard officers,
one
in a room, and we are interrogating him kind of. And again, I went there, I stopped them. I said, please, but for me, I mean, on the whole, I was signing my death warrant. Because for me, I am in charge, and I'm taking responsibility of what is happening. So that's what I'm used to. My officers, they report to me, they tell me what they're doing. Anything that goes wrong, I'm in charge. So in this day, I was assuming the same responsibility. Thank God, I'm respected both the police, the army, the immigration. I command some little bit of respect.
Police, immigration,
when I say stop, they stopped. They went out. So I believe I distributed those that were there in the rooms. And then I was ready to go home. So I'm not sure whether I called my boss when I was going home. Well, I know that I called Malamin Sise. And he was officer commanding, I think, serious crime or something.
Serious crime.
And I gave him a rundown of what has happened.
Could you briefly let us know what you said to him?
I told him that we have intercepted some illegal migrants. And the service chief has instructed for investigations. And one of the suspects is this Tunkara, you guy you said in Birkama. And I told him Tunkara was connected to a previous case that I was investigating. So we agreed. He will rally his men, I rally my men, we converge at Kairaba police station.
When was that to be?
The following day. Because I believe this was around 12 midnight, 1 o'clock, thereabout. I'm not sure the timings.
Proceed, please.
So we agreed. So I went home, slept. The following day, I believe around 9 o'clock in the morning, I got set, ready to go to work. I first stopped by Baba Job's house. Just to mention also that there were PIU officers who were assigned to secure the house. So when I came in the morning, I found the paras there. I entered the house. There was nobody. So I didn't say a word. I had a terrible feeling.
Did you ask?
I didn't even ask. All what my egos, my
instinct
gave me was to go and look for them in the other places that they were to be able to have a good picture of what my feelings were at the time.
Proceed.
So from Baba Job's compound, I went to go to police. I believe I asked for the detainees that were there overnight. They were not there. I went to Kairaba police station. They were not there.
They have suddenly disappeared into thin air? Or in the clutches of somebody else?
Whatever it is, they have gone. At this point, nowhere to be seen. So I proceeded to the PIU. At the PIU, I believe, I found maybe 5 or 6 of them. I believe the guy I talked to the first time, the head of the group, and again, it is my belief that the two women were also there. Probably 1 or 2 or 3 other people. So I found them there. I spoke to the security who were there. Hello, how are you? Fine, thank you. How is work? Fine, thank you. So I decided to excuse myself from this investigation.
Why?
My feeling was, but again, probably what I told my boss would answer your question. So once I have taken this decision in my mind, I came out of the PIU, put on my car, drove to Banyu. On my way, I called my boss. Again, you can check. I told him, like I have explained from Baba Job's compound, what has happened up to the PIU. And I told him that a terrible thing must have happened. I would doubt if these people will surface anywhere again in their lives. And as such, I don't want to deal with this matter. And I suggested to him, in order to calm the menace of illegal migration, particularly people who were making money out of it, was to go and escalate the other file, that the other 35 that we intercepted earlier. And we agreed. I proceeded to Banyu, to my office. And I believe I called my 2IC Bamba, he was already there. So we looked at that file, and then we started calling this Tunka. That he better cross the borders of the Gambia out of this country, otherwise we will get him anywhere he is. So I believe that must have, I'm not sure, maybe on a Saturday? Yes, because I think that was a weekend, because the traffic was so clear. And in the office, I was alone with Bamba, so I believe it was a weekend. So we worked on the file that day and the following day. And I believe on Monday, we went for consultation at the DPP's office. As to the situation on that case file. And that one of the culprits, or one of the alleged perpetrators of the act was already arrested. And he asked us we told him he was on bail. He asked us to ask him to come the following day. I can't remember the whole thing, but the guy ended up coming. And we escorted him to the courts. And he was put before the court. And I believe he was convicted. Because at one point he was serving in mile 2. I went to visit colleagues who were in jail there. And as I was passing, I ran into him. He started naming all the NIA officers who were jailed there. And that all the people who dealt with his case, I'm the only one who is left outside. So he's waiting for my coming. Still, I believe to this day, because I told him I had yours. I'm waiting for that of God. So, in essence, he was convicted. To the best of my knowledge, he was serving. He served sentence, or he was serving sentence.
And did you, at any point in time, hear anything about this case again?
Yes, on a number of occasions, yes. Likely on the social media.
But how about in national news? Did you hear anything about this particular case?
Of course, yes.
What did you hear?
I can't remember the wordings rightly. But UN or AU or ECOWAS have come to the Gambia. In fact-finding missions, I believe a host of them have took place. 2, 3 or 4 times. And that it ended up Ghana government having interest, negotiating until because at the time of paying those or compensating whatever. That was the time I was studying development diplomacy in peace and security at the Kofi Annan Institute.
Development and peace security.
And that was a very inconvenient period for me.
Even
if I'm in a taxi, I dare not say I'm a Gambian. I feel it in my body, yeah, I mean, the attention was extraordinary. So to a point, yes, I heard about it.
You haven't told us what you heard.
That there were 44 Ghanaians who were allegedly killed by the government of the Gambia or agents of the government of the Gambia.
Did that rumor you had accord with the truth as far as you know?
At
all, and that's why when the TRC came up, I knocked at your doors 3 times before this day. Long time. Yeah, from the early days. Because a lot of stories has been told. And me who leave the story, I thought I can chip in and help the clarification so that the investigation can be widened from there.
Did you hear what the government response was at the initial stages when questions were being asked about 44 Ghanaians?
Gambia masakunda watola itole munasoro emenjabi nyinkoro birinyi nkaro da mutata konyindo.
The specifics I may not. But in general, they kind of refuted the allegations.
And how did you feel when you heard those denials?
Knowing and living the facts, I didn't have a doubt that that's not true. Their story is not the truth. But also, when this international organization comes, there are panels that are formed. I believe 1 or 2 times my name have come up. I refuse to be part of it. Because my conscience didn't allow. To the best of my knowledge, the last one I told my boss, you know, this is true. I cannot go there and pretend. Your
government, my government, our government lied to the international community about what happened.
Absolutely.
How did you feel when you heard the lies?
I felt bad, but prior to the lies, because life is very precious, and the circumstances in which it happened is so deplorable. There was just no reason. From that day, I feel bad. Yeah.
Do you know how the lies were concocted, how they were organized?
Unfortunately, generally, because probably most of my postings also, especially after this event or shortly before this event, in 2005. After this event, I believe most of the time I stayed outside. So what happened around government cycles, I didn't know the details. So Gambia being what it is, very small. So whatever happened in one corner, directly or indirectly, you got to know. And yes, I had this narrative that we are associated with what has happened. Denials.
But do you know whether government took any particular steps to concretize their narrative? Again, yes.
What? I don't remember the specific, like I said. But there was, like I said, I believe UN. But you know, I'm not at the headquarters, but I knew a UN mission came. UN fact-finding mission came.
Because UN
I'm not sure ECOWAS and AU mission also, fact-finding mission also came.
Malam for ECOWAS and AU,
and the position of the government was, this is not true. Yes, I was aware it was general terminologies of the denials.
Do you know whether the government took any particular steps to cover up? What would I say?
The
truth. Nothing but the truth.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know what steps government took. All I know is what you hear on the media.
Malo masakunda ya munsimfa dalata. Eka kuma kongol min rumay dala wala eka min fo nimbanta ba kibaro tote.
I read the news more than 20, 30 times a day.
Nka news, nka lamele min katami sinyata.
I crawl every corner just to look for information.
Ngata nka nyabo nyale ke pruku dondron ka kibaro.
Well, that's your bread and butter. That's what you do for a living. But did you hear any rumblings among your colleagues as to what government was doing or planning to do?
I am on oath to this day.
Nothing
other than those that I have read on the news. And the fact of the matter is, I just refuse, I think, until after the change of government. That's when I started talking about it. Of course, I have spoken to one or two friends. I told them about this incident. So, no, the specifics definitely, I didn't know what steps government took to cover it.
As far as you were concerned, you brought from Bara up to 50 West African migrants to Banjul and distributed them to various hosting places, including Baba Job's house, on 22nd and 23rd July 2005.
Itata bara yenying Afrika tundola ing bankudingo molta mon mira fo mota lulu ye bondi na bara ye nati Banjulu ye bondi nanje ye bondi nanje ke samana komboko na ye jindi police station do kana fo Baba Job la cordaro.
Without a doubt, I did.
And you signed a register indicating that you have taken charge of these 50 people and brought them to Banjul.
Without a doubt, I did sign something. And probably I can go back a little bit and say that what I signed, to the best of my recollection, there was an entry before it that says 51 people. And I believe the entry I was taking these people out. The officer who was writing this must have taken it from there. And when I counted, it was 50. In fact, I have to do it for a second time. So I came back, I said, no, I'm taking charge of 50 people. And he's changed the 1 to 0. Countersign. Before I sign.
You are under oath, Mr. Witness. Any statement by the Gambia government indicating lack of knowledge of some 50 foreign nationals entering the country on that date would be a lie. I don't know how to answer this question. But again, would it be a lie if government said they have no knowledge of this fact?
Because this is completely different from the truth that I have lived.
So that would be made up reality on the part of the government.
Yes, it's not true.
In essence, you're saying the government lied. Let's now move on to the other issues. Tell us briefly what happened 30 December 2014, very, very briefly, and then we go on to the tortures that happened as a result. Very, very briefly, huh?
So I left the Yasuti Andi. Coming Kumi Alango Kata December Carotil Transabokon. Yasuti Andi Dorong, is agent Saboto, Nata Tajirinte Akulmin Nata Blawonum.
Yeah, 30th December, I believe 31st December.
Later December Carotil Tansaba, while December Carotil Tansaba in killing.
I was going to work. And somewhere around sitting corner, you can see the traffic was kind of blocked a little bit.
Nita foi futata dinkrato e kafo je stin kona wodo traffico mutata je demanding.
Okay, to cut it short, I got to Banjul.
So I'm pour kasu diani futata Banjul.
I realized there was an attempt on the State House.
Na jako komi ye nyepin kongole ke State House.
What kind of attempt?
Mboy kansifa.
I was told some armed men wanted to overtake the government.
Yemi fonya wala nyinte ko mo sotata mi yalan ko jorangol be buli lefta kas mansala wo dinkira nyinta.
So I went to my boss, as director of investigation, to have a comprehensive briefing on the situation. And then he briefed me. From there we went to the Director General. Deputy Director General was Liz Gomez. The Director General was Yanku Babaji. So me and the Deputy Director General went to the Director General. We reviewed the situation. So I asked for permission to go back to my men and prepare them and tell them what I have received from the boss. So I briefed them, I told all of them to stay put. As I was foreseeing, there will be taskings that would come. So once I did that, I went back to the in the briefing there with my men. I told them that there is a lone survivor, there is a survivor. Modnya, who was I think fractured or had a broken hand, is at the hospital. So I told them, briefings, if, you talk. I made reference to the Boston attack in America.
Let's abbreviate. Okay. Tell us about the next steps you took.
So the next steps I took was to go to the DG and ask for permission to go and visit the sick person at the hospital. I believe I made the request around 12 midday, 11 o'clock, 12 midday. The approval didn't come until around 2000 hours in the evening.
Why is that? Why was that?
I believe I sought permission from the DG. You have to seek permission from General Baji. So I have done mine, but his was not forthcoming. So at 2000 hours when it came, I took Malamin Sise, one of my staff, and my driver. We drove to the RVTH at the accident and emergency ward. And At the accident and emergency ward,
accident emergency ward,
when I entered from the east, I believe I turned to the left.
Can you reduce the detail?
Okay.
Otherwise, we won't finish.
All right. At the accident and emergency, I met the soldiers the officer commanding the soldiers. At the hospital there, who were guarding the survivor. Whom I came to know as Modun Jai. So when I arrived, I asked the guard, have this guy eaten? They said he didn't eat, he didn't drink. And I said to the guard, no, this guy must survive.
So we organized for him to get some food.
Yes, I did.
And you made an assessment of the situation.
Yes, I did.
And you decided that he was better off being elsewhere than at the hospital.
Yes, I took him out of the hospital.
And where did you take him?
I took him to our headquarters, NIA headquarters.
And what happened there?
Yeah, I believe that day, because he had pain at the time, yeah, we interacted a little bit and took him to a resting place. That was convenient for his condition.
Ultimately, he was interviewed.
Yes.
And other people were also arrested and brought to the NIA. Yes. Who were they?
I think 31st, now on the 1st of January.
There's no 32nd.
On the 1st of January. I believe Buba, Lieutenant Buba Sane was brought.
January karo telephone, Lieutenant Buba Sane nati.
And then?
Sorry?
And then what happened?
When Buba Sane was brought,
Buba Sane nati.
Buba Sane's explanation,
Buba Sane mean dante.
Because normally I direct investigations. I stay with the intelligence aspect of it. The force and backward was investigation of crime. I don't deal with it. So the men dealt with Buba. And they reported to me. Buba knows about this plot to overthrow the government. Well, he told the CDS. He told the Chief of Military Intelligence. General Baji was aware. The State Guard Commander was aware. The CEO of Fajara Barracks was aware. The intelligence chief in Fajara Barracks was aware.
Intelligence officer in Fajara Barracks.
So when I got this information,
they were aware, or he told them?
And when I was told this, and the instruction was to put him in cells. And I said no. I will not put Buba in cells.
Why?
Because as far as investigation is concerned, I'm supposed to determine who goes to the cells or not.
Is that so?
Oh, that's what
you're supposed to determine the facts. Who goes to the cells ultimately is a decision that does not rest with you, does it?
But that determination have to emanate from the facts coming from investigation.
So what was your determination? What was your finding?
My finding was Buba did not suppress the information. He sided with the authority that he was supposed to side with.
In essence, he did not commit an offense.
That was my belief. That was my assessment.
So on that basis, you decided not to put him in the cells.
Yes, I called the chief security, who is James Mendy. I told him today is Buba, tomorrow is you and me. If we are in Buba's position, we want justice. And we want the people that are dealing with us to be fair with us. So please keep Buba with your guards. That this is the situation. And he did that.
Okay.
And then what happened after that?
On Buba's case. I think three or 4 days after. At night, maybe around 12 midnight, 1 o'clock. Because then we used to spend the night at the office. So this day, I decided to go home and have a shower and change my clothes. I did that. When I came back, I was told Buba have escaped. Because DG came on a conducted tour and found Buba outside under light detention and asked Bori to put Buba in cells. So instead of the cells, Bori put Buba in an open room. And Buba broke the window and escaped. So Bori was made to replace Buba. I found Bori in cells.
Was Buba ultimately captured?
Yes, the following day Buba was captured.
And what happened to him?
Buba, what happened to him? I can't remember. I know he was captured somewhere around Fajikunda. He commanded a canoe. No, he commanded. He took a canoe. Somewhere around between Radio Seed and Denton Bridge, probably. And went into that stream towards Fajikunda, somewhere around Fajikunda. And brought back to the headquarters. I remember. When he came, I think his clothes were torn. Because I knew him previously. I think I came to the door cell. Famous Bambadinka.
Oh, infamous Bambadinka.
Yes. So I came to the cell door. And told him, Buba, you could have beard. I'm pretty sure things would have come to light.
There was a Dabama Arena.
Say that again?
There was a Dabama Arena. And he did not do anything.
I don't understand. Can you say it?
You didn't get it. Let's leave it at that. But Buba wasn't the only person also captured. There was Captain Job.
Yes, I think on the second or on the third, Captain Job also was brought.
And someone else?
I think Captain Buba Bojan.
Yes.
I think Sajo Jaju.
What happened to these people?
Yeah, okay. I think before them, Amadou Sow was brought. Amadou Sow was brought the first day. And Amadou is an uncle. So I excused myself from the investigation. I stayed with the briefings. My officers interviewed him. And they took a the instruction was to take a statement from him. They took a statement from him. And yes, I took the statement to brief the DDG. I think after the DDG, after a while, DDG came back for a second statement of Buba to test Amadou, to test his consistency.
Ultimately, what happened to Amadou?
Ultimately, Amadou, we were there, and I received information he was put in cells. I put him at the gate. He was live detention at the gate. So one of my staff told me that Amadou has been taken to the cells. And I think that very night, or maybe 2-3 nights. So I remember it was Job and Bojang who were tortured first before Amadou. So yeah, Amadou was put in cells, but on the second or third, Captain Job, like I said, I was sitting in my office. When these people come, they come behind me like this. I'm facing this. When I sit in my office, I face the north. So the special operation people brought Captain Joe first.
Special operation Captain.
Who were these special operations people?
Special operation.
You know, special operations, to the best of my knowledge,
special operation coming out on Yam.
When Idrissa Diop was heading it, I think we had 1 or 2 issues. So, special operation at the time, wallahi, when I saw Gajaga here, I was surprised. I thought special operation was Idrissa Diop and Lamin Dabo.
Wallahi, special operation Idrissa Diop and Lamin Dabo. But Lamin Dabo.
Honest to God, I can't remember the guys he was with. Those are small boys. If you go there, I will always tell him, okay. No, not Lamin Dabo, the rest of the boys, I mean.
And then what happened?
So while there, I also saw the DG and the DDG.
Who were they?
Gomez and Yankuba Baji.
And then?
And then after a while, one of my staff came to call me that the DG and DDG are at the charge office. And then I came out and went to the charge office. And I found Captain Job have been put in that room there. And they have put him on that bench. You know, others holding legs, others holding hands. And one was on the other side, facing the east, hitting. Yeah, and it was too painful. He was shouting very loud.
He wasn't shouting in vain. Something must have happened.
The guy was, one guy, he was beating him terribly.
Where was the Director General?
Both of them were there. All of us were there.
Did they say anything?
Nothing. If anything, they have encouraged.
Lamin Dabo, did he participate in it?
Very well.
Did he beat?
No, honest to God, to the best of my recollection, he didn't beat. He was holding, he was either holding the, I think the hands, the legs.
He participated in torture. Your Director General, Yankuba Baji, participated in torture?
I believe he was in charge. I'm not sure, yes.
Well, all of you participated in torture.
None
of you complained.
At this point, no.
Lamin Dabo sat on that chair and denied completely that this event never took place.
Lamin Dabo sita nyesira nkai sirin daben doa balda bela ko nyinku memfokanda nana manke.
Lamin Dabo knows I don't lie. If anything, he hold me to very high esteem.
Lamin Dabo ya ndebuka fania for and I am kumandi back.
Well, he said to the commission that you lied. Because I read out your statement to him.
Yeah, that is his opinion, but the facts are, when the Dr. Lum issue came, I was kind of shocked.
Let's not mix things up.
Okay. So,
was Lamin Dabo truthful or did Lamin Dabo lie to the commission?
Lamin Dabo, I am for young, I told you for I fanial for commission.
He lied. Without a doubt.
These people were tortured.
By
all of you.
I mean, point of correction. You mean as in beating or as in witnessing?
This was a concerted collective effort.
I would disagree. I wish there was an alternative. At that point.
Mr. Witness, did you protest the tortures?
Me and my staff, we protested.
You told us a minute ago that you said nothing.
No, we didn't reach there. Now, after Job, me and my staff sat down and said, this is the wrong route.
Okay, after these tortures, which you did not protest, you did nothing to say anything, you said nothing, you went along with it, then you said, well, this is now too much.
During intajidentani me alonko abekeri menko iko ibuluma maje bari asedial bari mo femfo bari nata na fo sa nyala bonye ko nyinde nyimbina lana tambila.
That's correct.
Tonya. But in the first instance it was happening.
Ku follow nyi wato nyi abekeka.
And you guys did nothing.
And atol alman fenke.
Yes, if you like, helpless. Helplessly, yes.
And the third instance was who?
The third instance, again, I'm not sure. That day we saw Noah Baji came. So I wouldn't be able to specifically know who were the torturers were. But when we saw Noah, we melted into our offices. At some point, maybe after 20-30 minutes, we had beatings and shouting. And I know Buba.
Just a moment. These guys, these junglers, were they working together with the NIA or they were not working together?
Because this was the first time I am interacting or having to be around where the junglers are.
My impressions were
they would have an assignment, the presidency, while somebody is detained at the NIA, and with the aid of whoever at the NIA, probably the Director General or the Deputy Director General, come and execute those missions.
So in essence, from what you said, there was NIA complicity in the activities of the junglers at the NIA premises.
Munde kamem fo wala nyindi ko NIA law sansan nyin kono je jo e jongulal la do ko nyin kanake NIA law sansan kono to je to je. Ha.
And then you had the beatings.
And then
what happened?
I believe these beatings, the people that were subjected to these beatings were, I believe, Buba, Sani, Amadou Sow. Because these two people, I know them. I'm not sure if Sajo Jaju was subjected to the same. Captain Sajo Jaju. Amadou and Buba, yes. Amadou and Buba. I think the junglers dealt with them.
And you did not participate in that?
I was inside my office. I had the shoutings and the noise, yes.
But these are people that you really knew?
Amadou is my uncle. When I came from the village, Amadou was the first person to host me in the Congress.
And as such, you could not have participated in his torture?
But
other people were also arrested? For doing nothing, actually. Their only crime was that they were related to people who were alleged to have committed crime.
Correct?
Tonya? That's correct.
Give us examples.
One that was striking to me was Bailo. Bailo's wife and I think 3 kids. One of them was going to university. I remember every day when I'm closing, kids will run to me, especially the one at the university. Begging for his university career not to be closed. With the wife, we quickly investigated and she was not found wanting. The only crime she committed was his Bailo's former wife, I'm not sure. When she was freed, finally the management accepted to let her go free, David Colley will not accept her. And I personally picked the phone and said to David, the investigations have not found this lady connected in any way or form. And I think he quoted the prison act or whatever, that she was not accepting her. Then I walked to the DG's office. I said, please, can you write to David and tell him that this woman or this lady didn't commit any crime? I think he did write or call David, and the lady was finally accepted back. The lady was posted at mile 2. I think a day or 2, she came back to me and said she was taken to Janjambure prison. I said to her, you don't know where your lock is?
And the parents of Jajanyas were also arrested?
All those that were involved, their parents were arrested.
Is that standard operating procedure at the NIA? If a person commits a violation, you arrest those close to this person, mother, father, children, wives?
fo wala mu doku wonyin doku sahari ngudi NIA ja la kala doku kan nyame ni mo tata fo ay tinyaro ke surtout ay loi tinya ni ya o mari muta e bu kada o mari do muta ro katala badingol abama afama akotoma do ko mala ning dingol.
That was not only wrong but unacceptable in society. My position was me and my staff, we were not going to deal with it. There was a little push and pull, but finally they were handed over to other units to deal with. But because it's NIA, I felt responsible. Every day at 3 o'clock, I will assign a staff to evaluate all the detainees within the headquarters. We will write and recommend for them to be released. And I think we started doing it after the second or third day. Yes.
I mean, unlawful arrests and unlawful detentions were commonplace at the NIA. Take, for instance, Omar Ndao. Could you tell us about it?
Mura ke samba NIA ke sindije luwanta iya kang omu kula na meya lonko NIA dali na kuwa la woti. Misal feva Omar Ndao la kuwa. Kuma fanyo okoro ba?
Yeah, the issue of Omar Ndao was very pathetic.
Omar Ndao wakata nyanyi wo ni tolo wata.
Because not only didn't do anything, but he was a very skillful, has all the potential to make this country's telecommunications work. And to be done like that was very disheartening. But back to your question, we investigated the matter.
What was the accusation?
The accusation has to do, I think there was an AU summit. I can't remember the specifics. Allegedly, either he misinformed the presidency. He was involved in project proposals that were not viable. Good returns on those projects. So we investigated, we found that to be untrue.
That the accusation was untrue.
Yes, that the accusation was untrue. And what informed our position was, I think we had an expert opinion from Gamtel. I wrote to Gamtel asking for an expert opinion. Whether the project was viable or not. I think we seek expert opinion from finance.
I'm
not so GDA, Gambia,
Divestiture.
And Central Bank.
Central Bank.
I remember there was one move at the time.
So all of these expert opinions,
based on the cash flows of the project, their position was the project return was good.
But in the meantime, what had happened to Omar as a result of this accusation?
He was detained.
Unlawful. What else did they do to him?
They ended up taking him to Mile 2. Subject him to a frivolous court proceeding.
Was that in accordance with law?
Completely against.
It was wrong. His rights were violated. And he was dismissed from his job unfairly. But this was normal, wasn't it?
At the end, I came to realize it's normal.
Lantombong Tamba, the same thing happened.
Lantombong, yes.
Lantombong, huh?
If you like, I was involved in the events leading to the arrest.
Yes.
I remember it was this day around, what is this time? This is 4 o'clock, yeah, 4 or 5. I believe, yes. I was sitting down somewhere in Carnifing. And I received a call about Mare. What Mare?
What's name?
I can't remember the name.
Does Ibrahim mean?
Ibrahim Mare, yes.
Ibrahim Mare, what phone?
So this Mare was going around. He was calming people.
Okay, scamming.
I think he did it to Amadou Samba. At the time Mayor Koli. At the time Alaji Kurang of Jollof Tutos. Papali of Africell. And a host of others. So I think at the time I was in Gamtel. Certainly, I was moved to, I'm not sure. But anyway, let me recollect the events for you.
He was arrested.
Yes. I followed it up and realized he have ran. He was wanted. He ran to Farafenye. And the investigation, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritties, but the picture was he was in Farafenye. And I think if my memory serves me well, one of the people that he was calling is a friend and a brother, the CEO of Farafenye Barracks. I called him and explained the situation to him. He told me, Mare just left my office. I will get it. I will get it. So he got Mare and brought him to his office. And we asked our men, our NI officers in Farafenye, escort Mare to Banjul. Mare was brought to Banjul. And at the DG's reception like this, Mare was made to sit down on the floor. And, you know, the Ford and Babu, you know, Gambia investigation, everybody, host of questions coming forward. For 4 or 5 minutes.
4 minutes lulu.
Mare changed the subject, wanted to change the subject. And ask for people, some of the people in the room, there were too many people, he asked for people, some of the people to be asked out of the room. Because of the role I was playing, I decided to stay. And while sitting down, he said, wait, you know, there is a plot to overthrow the government. Honest to God, I can't remember the bits and pieces. Because for me, I was dealing with a criminal. I saw him as a criminal. If I was in charge, the route I took, I wouldn't have waiver. Everybody calmed down and wanted to listen to me. I said, I don't belong here. I think, yes, if I must have been sitting like this, facing this, and the accountant is like this here. Lamin Maron was the accountant, is a childhood friend. I entered there, I said, boy, I have an urgent mission to Dakar. Can I have $10,000? He gave me $10,000. That's how I went out. I joined the ferry, crossed to Bara, plus to Dakar.
But even at this stage, you did hear some of the things he said.
But hani kabi otemben na watu laje yekumudul mwele ay memfo.
Yes, sadly so. Because one of the people he implicated was Ngorseka, who was one of my best bosses.
Atu ay mol forming dadu ne nyunko kono Ngorseka dabe wal and woketa multi mi ante kenda balem.
So
Ngorseka and who else?
Ngorseka ninjuma.
I think the Ngorsekas, the Bobajis, the Modugays.
Ngorseka, Bobaji, Modugays.
And one clearing agent.
Clearing agent.
And the saddest part of the story is
Modu Gay.
I can't recollect, but he played a role leading to my detection of, I'm so Modu Gay wouldn't remember, but leading to the detection of where Mara is. I think he wanted to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, I can't remember the full story now, but yes. I know that I was interested in my.
In your view, did he tell the truth about these people?
Mari is a criminal.
I
see him like nothing other than a criminal. And honest to God, in my office, I would deal with him like a criminal. I would deal with the criminal.
We will come to that later. He lied about these people and fabricated a case which the government accepted and went along with.
Without a doubt.
Very sad indeed.
Very decent people. I've been to Mile 2. It's bad. It's bad.
You were at some point involved in Mahmoud Sise and Ibu Job case?
Yes.
Tell us about it very briefly.
Anyway, Mahmoud Job and Sise.
Mahmoud Job and Sise.
I came to know their affairs because they rented a neighbor's house. And I prepared the tenancy agreement.
Were you moonlighting as a lawyer?
Exactly. So they were going with I think a Gambian boy. So when we prepared this, these people, they have rented the place, they disappeared in thin air. So I will discuss with this guy about this boy. And that they were made to understand they have gone to Guinea-Bissau. So there was this day, the government said for a team to go to Guinea-Bissau.
What is the Masakunda
the task force of a panel was formed.
What were they to investigate?
The whereabouts of these two guys.
Why was the government interested in them?
I believe at this point, whether a UN task force was coming or a AU fact-finding mission, there was a high-level visit to the land. I believe, according to the investigation, police investigation report, these people were, it was likely telephone or some interest in Guinea-Bissau was what was presented kind of in that report.
You are now waffling. You're not speaking directly to the issues. What was the interest in these two guys?
Again, like I said, I cannot talk about the police report.
The film for no police or report or Carol.
But the trip to Bissau was informed, in my belief,
the latter men
as a result of the fact that fingers were pointed at these people that they have some business interest in Bissau, and probably
is that a
business also
is that a crime? Is that a reason for the government to investigate anybody? We all have business interests somewhere.
Business
not at all.
Why were they being investigated?
No, probably you didn't hear me. They are nowhere to be seen.
My friend, many people leave the country every day. That too is not a crime. That is not a basis why our government should investigate anybody.
Okay.
Tell us the reason why these people are being investigated.
I've seen your point now. Like I said, United Nations or AU fact-finding mission or investigation team was coming here.
Again, no reason for anybody to be investigated.
Well, okay. The interpreter, please.
Again, there is no reason. That is no reason why anybody should be investigated. The fact that the UN is coming here, they come every day.
Prior to that, it was on the news everywhere. These people have been killed. And for me, government wanted to clear their name that definitely these people were not killed. Investigations has been done. And allegedly, these people were frequenting Bissau in and out. And again,
did the papers saying that these people were killed, did the paper say why they were killed?
For kibar kaito nying where follow ko nyi mul fala fo hanika bi kibar kaito nyi ay tandi jela nyi ngaro ko jam wali na jumale asabu yenyi mul fa.
No, I think at that point it was very speculative. What I hold until I heard it at the TRRC. Because they had money. Because there was this woman. Where are we here? So a restaurant here. We used to hang out with them. Like I said, I follow the news. So those bits and pieces I have in my memory. But specifically, but again, it was informed by a fact-finding mission from the United Nations.
By the time you people went to Bissau, the government knew that they had captured and killed these people. True or false?
Very true, and that was very shocking.
And it
was very shocking.
In fact, your trip to Bissau was only intended to provide false information to the visiting trips that were coming to Gambia, visiting dignitaries.
Absolutely.
In fact, providing false information to international organizations and foreign nationals was normal in this government.
Absolutely.
Yaya Jammeh would instruct the government to lie and provide false information.
Yaya Jammeh be kago di mansa kunda la puruka kibar di molda me alon ko fania kibarola.
Absolutely, more than that. Investigators, like in the Marandao case, I received a letter from President's office instructing what interest I have in that case. It was taken there, handed over to the police.
Amandaula Carola, a conte wo case nyinte mo hamen ko dige ina ka kuma kan di ko ye case ni sound the police olia.
So what we had was a government that would torture people and extract false confession from them, correct?
Baringa memmo e jang wala nyindi ko masakunda membe nu jang masakunda me yalon ko abe mol mudala ke sindi dagini ke tajirenti ya ka kuma kan sote bul me yalon ko kuma kan ya sote bul fadi ale kan fo lem to nyati.
Absolutely, many of it.
A government that would fabricate evidence against its citizens.
Masakunda me yalon ko abe fadi atala la fa wala banku dimul kan.
I couldn't agree now because I lived it.
A government that would disappear its citizens.
Masakunda me yalon ko abe fa wala banku dimul tala be yemandila.
Agree. A government that would fabricate evidence in order to cover up its dastardly acts.
Masakunda me yalon ko abe kuma kan tala ba la mo kan fani ala pour ate fa wala baro nyinga ata ayo mabo.
I agree.
And it had the NIA to do it for it.
And NIA wollem dingira wolle be o masakunda je pour ka cool kae.
At the forefront, yes.
And no matter how you look at it, none of you was clean.
Anu hani kabi nyaonya yako nyujube nyaonya nyarande nyawato mbebe nje mola moya alman senaya.
All of you were tainted.
Altolbe mola me anu ko alnotale.
I guarantee you, many of us are clean.
All of you, most of you were involved in torture, including yourself.
I guarantee you, not one. Go bring it.
Mr. Witness, you tortured people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The circumstances, if you bring it, if it is true, I will say.
Till you are here, you are facing the nation, you are facing the commission. Have you ever participated in torture? Either as a passive participant or an active participant, have you ever participated in torture?
Sedo silang ifele siring komisyon nyati lang wala jang ibe siring nyati lang gambia bela. Afo komisyon ay jang fo inana ida nyen nana bulata moto ka tajirente ya ibulo jaharan waranto fo ija sede yala ba ima beta waro mene be mo tajire yala ba.
And you are on the oath.
And we be kalole koto.
100%. And
so this is lot came obey from them.
Like I said first in the 30th December issue, that equates to torture. That's exactly what we did. That's exactly what I did. And the evidence is not only Job, not only Morinjai, but Job, Jajanya's uncle, Buba, and a host of them, I did some good things. Back to a question. I remember, I can't remember the years. Yeah, there was this white man who was killed in Kerseri. I think the police were investigating the matter from January, February up to March. And there was no breakthrough. And the matter was brought to our office. And I was handed over the case. I can't remember who was supervising me. But there, MI5 were involved.
But MI5 will for not dabbing.
So the British police, MI5, came and with the Gambia police. And I'll tell police will not and they briefed me. They briefed me about the facts. Yeah, and they saw me, this man, even if he's going to the toilet, he will call the daughter. Whatever he was doing, he will tell the daughter. He communicated, he was into contact. And it happens that in this case, these people, they took this guy, they took him to Kabakel.
Ya somebody ka fodam ya kabakel.
Killed him.
Ya faje.
And buried him there.
Ya badeji.
So back to the NI headquarters, when I was briefed,
Say kabe mutanang.
I looked at all the evidence.
Ya fonye nga sedol beji be.
I said to the guy, I think he's Bojang. I said, Bojang, you are responsible. You know something.
Ko boja ko ite ye fella nyunkota.
So I told the police and the MI5.
Ko boja ye ani MI5.
You can go. I think the MI5 were scheduled to go back to England because they have been here for a long time with the police.
MI5 will not Angleterre.
So I told them, let them go. We'll deal with the man.
Go ko alta antol be nyunku.
I think under 15-20 minutes.
Ngamala kata minute taning lulu kata minute muang.
You know, I tied Bojang's hands.
Na Bojang bulo.
He's a small boy.
Mr. Witness, let's cut the chase. Let's cut through the chase. You tortured the guy to confess. And this would not be the first time you torture or the last time you torture anyone.
No, excuse me, I'm coming to the other guy. Because there were two. But Bojang cook the thing here. Put this white man in his car.
The fact that Bojang and this other guy killed the white man is no reason why you must torture Bojang to confess. What we are talking about now is the fact that you tortured Bojang to accept having committed a crime.
The men folk and Jawala Nindico, it is
that's what I'm saying. That's absolutely the fact.
But away from
so tell us about the torture.
So when we arrested, when Bojang came, Bojang we didn't torture him. I just tied. He's a small boy. He was terrified.
Bojang commanding them. So I kill about
No. Listen. I agree with you.
Sunday money.
Wallahi, I wish Bojang is alive. I was meant to understand he's dead. May his soul rest in peace.
Well, and do you realize what you have done?
Yeah,
Through the torture, your torture, he confessed, isn't it?
Yeah, Sunday.
No, he didn't confess. He told us who killed the man.
That is, well, if he tells you who killed the man, it means that he knows how it happened. In fact, that puts him in complicity. It's as a result of that Bojang was convicted. Of course, Bojang was convicted for murder. Yes, but you tortured him to extract that evidence from him.
No. We tortured cows.
You first tortured Bojang. He implicated Kausu. You tortured Kausu. He confessed. So all of them were convicted. As a result of that conviction, Bojang was executed. Just look at your actions. Are you proud of that?
Honest to God? Yes. If I go here, let me go to the firing squad. I'm so proud of what I did in that incident.
So you are proud of torture?
I am. No, I'm not saying torture. Listen to me.
No. We have to call a spade a spade. We are not talking about somebody who killed a person and the killing is investigated. We, all of us, have to accept that is what has to be done. But in so doing, your actions are judged by the standards and norms of civilized behavior. Do you take pride in torturing these two people to confess to this crime?
Counsel, allow me to say this.
Answer the question. Do you take pride in torturing these two people to confess?
I am where I am sitting. I am not in the slightest doubt That the facts I got in that issue, in that case, if they are presented to me today, given the fact that we have no equipment, we have no resources, we have nothing, we only use our common senses. Under extraordinary circumstances. So if I believe my mother have killed or my brother have killed, and the facts are presented like they were in this occasion, I would not hold back. I would want to see the person in mile 2.
Mr. Witness, you are answering an entirely different question. You are forming questions in your head and answering them. But you would answer my question. My question is, first, these two people were tortured to give a confession. You agree with that? Right? So this evidence was not obtained because you were skillful and smart. This evidence was obtained by fraud because you tortured these people to submission. That's the truth, isn't it?
No, I disagree.
Well, you can choose to disagree. The evidence is already on the record. You have confessed to torturing these people for them to submit and give you the answers. You agree with that?
Let me just say this, because for the records, when we got Kausu, Kausu is a rebel in Casamance.
Kausu mu rebel di Casamance.
And when we went to where they killed this man and buried him, Bojang paid Kausu $10,000. Kausu had a gun with one bullet.
Kausu. The
man is a tall guy, hefty. They shoot him one goal and he was there, he didn't die. Next to the highway, go and got sticks and beat him until he died. Probably talk to the MI5 and you probably see the pictures.
They acted in a barbaric manner, isn't it?
Yes.
You also acted in a barbaric manner.
Of course, barbaric actions. Barbaric actions.
So both of you are to be condemned for such barbaric actions. Okay, then so you are a torturer.
That is a story. I'm happy to
Your tortures did not even stop with these people. You also tortured Izzat Faraj and Musa Job. They were brought to the NIA, you were investigating them and you tortured them.
That is not true. That is not true. And
Mr. Witness, once a torturer, always a torturer.
You can call it. I have lived all my life in this country.
You are the person who said you tortured these people. Is that not true?
Very correct.
Could you answer now? You tortured people. You tortured Bojang and Kausu.
Of course, yes.
That makes you what? It makes you a torturer.
That is very incorrect, counsel.
Well, call it whatever you want. But that puts you in the band of the barbaric people just like Kausu and Bojang. It's just to varying degrees.
I will repeat again. If that I have a track record.
community nata mbulula bebe
That will put me in that equation.
natala wala be mbulala wo fanala.
I repeat, honest to God, I have no regrets.
But it is shocking and disappointing that you sit here and take torture as a badge of honor and claim we should give you medals for it. We refuse. We say that this is torture, this is behavior that ought not to happen in the public space. It ought not happen in the public, in any situation. The Constitution, as read out by the chair yesterday, Section 21, I believe, absolutely prohibits torture.
Council come for
it is shocking.
Ye baro ke ya ke nyanya nyama ya nyanya tajireya kamuta kalipa na luwa bukubao maso wala ko kiyama ya karanja nyama nkunu moy ko ku ke kalipa o data ko kono.
It is shocking that you sit here and wear it as a badge of honor. Especially for a person who is learned in the law.
Again, Council, what I didn't even go, I didn't even hide in one way or the other. I took responsibility. What I'm saying,
Mr. Chair, I have no further questions. Thank you.
Before I ask him there, can you confirm that you did must say that one barbaric action calls for another barbaric reaction? Do you maintain that?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to put this into context. What I mean is my actions were wrong and wrong. However, confronted with what I was confronted with, I decided to choose that route, even though it was not correct. But for argument's sake, if it was my daughter or my father, you know, because those are MI5, they jubilated when we called them that we had a breakthrough. This country, more than that, this country is a tourism destination.
Sorry, witness, my question was very clear. Your statement that one barbaric reaction calls for a barbaric reaction. Are you maintaining that? Or was it a slip of the tongue?
No, what I said was here was a barbaric action met with a barbaric action. Look at all my previous dealings.
Not looking into that at all.
Exactly.
I just want this
no, not at all. No.
On this thing.
No.
Which was a slip of the tongue.
Yes, I would call it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the tortures that you have done, they all came after you obtained an LLB at the University of Columbia Law School?
This was well before that. This was 2002.
You weren't a lawyer yet?
No.
But you knew that torture was unlawful?
I don't torture. Everybody who have come before me, I treated them with the respect they deserve. I give them food. Even if you have killed, I give you food. That is who I am, because I want to be treated fairly. And so I extend the same fairness in my dealings with people. But like I said to the council, in this occasion, yes, I did. And there is no point I have swear to the Holy Quran and sit here and lie.
You did what?
Sorry?
You did what?
I did torture Kausu.
So that was his point. If you tortured Kausu,
I did.
You were a torturer.
Come
on, you're a lawyer.
No, if that is the description, I happily accept.
And who else did he torture?
But my position is this is all I know. He talk about Faraj and Job. No, I would happily go into that. That is not true.
Did you torture anybody after Kausu or before Kausu?
Never in my life. Even people
you tortured only one person.
Only
throughout your career.
Only two. And witnessed the
Kausu and Bojan, the case of Kausu and Bojan.
So two.
Yes.
And witnessed the be a passive participant in the torture of was it Captain Job and Captain Bojang?
Mabeta Captain Job ni Captain Bojan tajiriyato.
Thank you, Mr. Jallow.
Mr. Jallow.
Let me take you back to the West African migrant situation. We have a few questions in that area. And I'll put them in boxes. What I need for our subsequent review of your testimony today is to just narrow certain things down to that. So I'll give you 4 boxes. You just tell me individuals that I'm asking you to put in those boxes. Box 1 would essentially be from Barra to the Navy Yard. Oh, sorry, interpreters.
Okay. Chairman coming forward in the go. Abella Flemi Salon dire mi alon ko abakela box wala ti carton. So itele be to mondiro kala box wo box ibe abe nyini kala ya fo iba dund la dame.
And that box would at least 2 individuals there. Yourself?
Box or box? No fulale.
No. The first box.
Box following it.
Barra to Navy Yard.
Kabo box. Kabo Barra. Kata 4 soldier roll Navy to Jana Banjul.
In that box, you were the one who had gone to Barra police station.
Barra police station.
And the station shift officer handed you 50 West African migrants.
And remember do call and was station of the day where more dealer minta mortal lula wole dealer.
So in that box we know you have OUSMAN Jallow, that's you.
And what box would on OUSMAN Jallow Sudaje wole tati.
Who is the shift officer at the Barra police station who handed you the 50 individuals? If you can just give me the name.
Unfortunately, I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
I cannot remember. Okay, well, if you look at that day, probably the police
we'll find that out then. And box 2 is the one that is the dispersal and the disappearance of the 50 migrants. Who can you tell somebody with a very solid background in the NIA belong in that box concerning the dispersal, where they were dispersed to various police stations, and also their disappearance? Give us 2 names.
After ye to fula dina nyim box fula nyawat
or 3
men kabri nyim mol kabri ye bonnam bara fena ta banyul albe sambakan aliye talantalam police station to tari sa be mo to fula fula nyanola ena e to miya lonko e bol kala wo nyim box wala to nyim carton to kam foten.
Can you repeat the question again?
Give me names of people who were involved in the disappearance and the dispersal of the 50 migrants.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure whether the distribution occurred when we were going to Baba Job's house or after. My belief was it was from Baba Job's house was the distribution.
Malong fo kabi wato men kata Baba Job la korda to lamba yo mol tinis loka ke talang fo wada kabim fo da Baba Job la korda to le fo ka pare na dana nyum.
Well, I cannot remember participating in the distribution.
With your background in NIA, I just want you to tell us.
Yeah, I'm coming to the next question.
Okay, fine.
So the next question is, who? And like I said, the state guard, Bombarde I know.
Bombarde I know.
So I can't remember the other people.
So in that box, you're giving us only one name.
Yes.
The dispersal of these individuals and their disappearance.
Yes.
Bombarde is the only one in that box.
Yeah.
Right. We go to box 3, the alleged murder of the 50 West African migrants. Again, with your background in the NIA, you must have some idea who perhaps have been involved in the murder of these individuals.
Again, this is very speculative. I don't have the facts. But my instinct, with what I saw at the Navy, what I saw at Baba Job's house, all those act together, direct to one point again. Bombarde and that team and whoever they are associated.
So again, Bombarde is the only one that you would mention for box number 3.
Yeah, like I wish today will come. I would have taken these people, each of their names. When I hear 44 Ghanaians, my heart bleeds. I am not sure if you ask me, probably I have dealt with 2 or 4 Ghanaians, not more than 4. So again, I was hungry, I was tired, I took these people, it was late. Because I'm very careful. If I could have foreseen this, I would have done the right thing. Well, I know without a doubt, a killing will surface. Yes, you cannot kill 50 people and you think you will go home and sleep. No,
The fourth and the last box, and again, with your background in NIA, that box is the cover-up of the murder of the crime of murder of the 50 West Africans. Who would you put in that box that we would look at?
Comme ça ibe jumal dulla we keso kono comme yo mol mem fa wo mo tallulol mi yan ko ye fale comme jumala marté la faro ni so ni bo keso ni bo mo dundula je be jumala to kala je.
This is a cover up.
Comme ya kekuleti mi yan ka mabo.
I would say government, I don't know what would that mean. Government
for masakunda ma wo ko to be kala mindi.
Whatever the government would mean to you.
The government, Masakunda Kotobe Kele Buluminti,
head of the government,
Masakunda Nyatonko,
chiefs.
Tago Bunda Nyatonko.
I definitely don't know what the answer to.
If you don't, thank you very much. Commissioners, if you have any questions.
Commissioner,
Deputy Chair, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Esa. Thank you, Mr. Jallow.
Abaraka Chairman, Abaraka Esa, Abaraka Itesedo.
Before we come to the West African migrants,
West African migrants.
I am interested in Modunjai, the person that was evacuated from RVTH and taken to the NIA. What was the rationale for removing him from hospital?
Like Council, Commissioner, when I came to the RVTH, when I asked whether Modunjai have eaten, Modunjai, he was covered in a white cloth. He removed the cloth and we saw eye to eye. And I can feel that the comments I made, whether he have eaten, that have comforted him. And I also didn't feel that leaving him there, anything could happen. There's guns everywhere. So I decided for his security, take him to the NI headquarters, and for the subsequent week or two, he was not put in cells until I think after I left. No, astaghfirullah. At some point, yeah, for one reason or another, I was there, I was told Modja is put in cells. But this he stayed with us for a week or two. So his heart hit him.
Pardon?
So he had the proper medical care when he was at the NIA.
Yes. You can ask him, yes. Not only medical care, but also
Now the next question is related to the West African migrants.
You
have indicated that there were 2 women in the group of 50. One of them you had some connection with because she looked like somebody that you knew. Did you ask her name?
No, I didn't say we have connection. I said I felt a connection because she looks
like.
But
I said you had a connection with her.
Yes.
When you have a connection, it means you feel this connection. I didn't say. So when you didn't ask her name?
No.
And you don't know what happened to these 2 women?
I think the last time I saw them was at the PIU. With the head of the team, probably. I don't know what happened to them. I have no idea.
No idea. Okay, thank you.
All I know is one is a Sierra Leonean, the other one is a Liberian.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'll take commissioners on my left, and Imam C, you have the floor, please.
Imam C,
OUSMAN Jallow.
OUSMAN Jallow.
No.
Lanana pular.
Abeti.
Bilo jarna he sedem fago mangwa.
We have to allow for interpretation.
In not fuller. Kolong lay nuyu ci sa CDA bi. I'm greeting you based on your testimony that you gave here. Konam dal gotal jogi ni. Konam to mami. Lima lay laaj moy. What I want to ask you is those Ghanaian people, when you set your eyes on them until the place where you were separated with them, did you observe whether they have eaten or not? Whether they have drink or not? According to what I observed,
I
was assuming that when they were from Dakar, they haven't until they were from Bara, until I brought them to Banjul.
So my concern was that these are hungry people, they're tired.
The way I saw them is they look hungry and they look tired.
Wow.
The second question is the lady that you are talking about. That lady is so close to you. Is it the beginning of things or at the end of events?
No, again,
what I know about it is
jigen bi fuma ko gis bema fuma gis gaay yep moy fi naka la tudati navy at the navy headquarters.
Where I saw all of them was at the navy headquarters.
Because light mu nga fa,
because there was light,
te ñep dañ tok ni jakarang,
and they were all seated down.
So ki ndaws la xala am yaram,
this lady is somebody who is hefty.
Yes.
And he is fairly complexion, Just like how Liberians look like. And she's not that tall.
So when I
saw her, somebody like her was walking. Then I said, wow, these people, they look alike. But the difference was the person who was working for me was from Sierra Leone, but a very good lady. And she can do her job very well. And she can take care of my children. And that was it.
Thank you. Yes, Commissioner Kinte.
Commissioner Kinte, what can I mean?
Assalamu alaikum, Usman.
Walaikum assalam.
You said here that when you took these people up to the Navy,
went
ahead and took them to Baba Job's residence in Kololi.
I
know on the way, the things that you said you could not remember. That should not be something that your mind should recall.
Because
if it was only one place, you can forget about it.
But PIU,
but the paramilitary, Kairaba, and I think you mentioned Kotu here.
Baba Job.
If you have stopped at these various places and your vehicle was running,
you
may not just know that people were dropped there, but you may know also how many people were disembarked from
and
no matter how many people were, like 50 people, even if you were arrived there with at least 14 people, then make it clear to us, how does that place, how does things happen there?
Should I speak in English or Mandinka? See, to talk is not easy. The fact of the matter is, I
make them enter the vehicle at the Navy. What I want to say is this. I am a human being.
And I don't want to lie.
But in a recollection, but what I can remember,
before Baba Job.
It's not like we were making many stops before arriving at Baba Job. Between me and Allah.
But council
said,
when
we were coming, did we pass by Kairaba station and court?
I am on the back,
and he took me back.
Simply because
Katunko.
When
we arrived at Baba Job's compound,
I cannot remember participating in dropping them at Kotu, Kairaba, and in PI.
And that is something that so that thing make clear doubt in my mind.
Usman,
Usman, the place is too much for you to be doubtful. If it was one place, it could be doubtful. 3, 4. Okay. Want us to clear this place. What he thought or what he thinks is different. What I know, what I believe.
He drew from the Navy,
but no stop.
And he stopped claim marking.
Baba Job until we arrived at Baba Job.
But in
that makes it clear.
A definitive KJ.
Because if another witness
dropping,
and he said that the person is, they make a drop.
Witness la opinion or respect la, because probably what correct.
I want to respect that witness opinion because
believe.
No, Usman,
that is what I wrote.
Usman,
you see, Usman, if it is about 3 to 4 places,
it's a probability la no je.
You cannot say it. You cannot say it may happen or not.
Again. Up
to now, my statement is I picked them from the Navy.
And don't even sabatering wala bala.
Absolutely.
No, that's why
I may be wrong.
Mbatu, o fanambe me itandila nimol be jila boso kono. Kati ko be jele.
What will that show is when people are
The boss may have arrived before
Sorry,
me.
Chairman, we can't hear anything. They're speaking over each other. If you could please
Okay.
tell the interpreters, we can't hear a thing.
Okay, I wait.
Nkamem forum nyinde ko. Wadagal do futala baba jobu ya hani e sabang.
What I'm saying is when upon your arrival at Baba Job's residence,
Tumado minute dantandoron na duntal tem.
even when they reach there before you, even it is less than few minutes,
Oto nimmo talulu jita moto kono. Wo be faramansa la bakela.
if 50 people disembark from the vehicle, then that is something very strange.
That's very pronounced.
That is very pronounced. Okay.
Commissioner, again,
Commissioner, honey say,
without a doubt, definitive.
when you are to happy flow, man sort of
Then I
that.
may believe.
What I believe,
When you Walter Navy,
I took these people
you
from the vehicle,
Baba Job la
I brought them up to Baba Job's
They
residence.
have arrived 5-10 minutes
As
before me. I made
But when
sure
we arrived,
it's 50 people.
Yo konti baba jobu ya.
I didn't count, but
Barmebe na koma sutiata ala.
no responsibility tale.
Fine, because ye men fanam foyalo na kumo kono. Iko yaje ko ebe la dula soto.
but what you have stated, you said all of them, they have place to lie down.
Oto e la dula talulu men deda.
Then-
Ani ni la dula mutannim fulati. Wol fanan jam fata nyola bake pura ake fulati. Anyanta lola kumale kan.
Mafo, yes.
Come inside, you mean for. Iko ite la rongo de da wole minta ta la ron talu. Okay. You have stated here that you have prepared a bedding for them, more than almost 50 beddings.
Mafo nyama.
Okay, can you come back?
I mean for wale munyinte ko.
What you have stated is
Biri
that
futata baba jobu ya.
when you are upon your arrival at Baba Job's,
Ajele ko nyunu be la dula sotole.
you have realized that all of these people, they have a place to sleep, as you stated it in your testimony. What I said is that
Corda was an empty place, like house.
Baba Job's compound was an empty land.
Empty bull.
Aha, good.
Empty house. There is no bed.
So ladula, nine kalarang ko, ndama larang ko. Interpreter le larang ko, ndama larang ko de, nko ladula.
Yeah.
Can I talk now?
No, the interpreter has not interpreted that.
I mean, is the interpreter who mentioned bed, but I never mentioned bed.
Place to sleep.
Ladula.
Yo nka men fora mu indiko. Ni mu talulu la ladula ko topoto. Ani ni mu tannin fula damma la ladula ko topoto. Wo temo fanuta le pour ayke tumado bato. Wonyanta koyno la.
Allow the interpreter now to interpret that.
What I am saying is that if you prepare a place of sleep for almost 50 people, and now it is about 12 people that you prepared for where they will lie down.
No.
Can you make it bit by bit?
Yeah. If you have prepared sleeping arrangement for 50 people, vis-a-vis for 12 people, that difference is so significant that it cannot be a probability.
Can I answer?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes.
And
Again, I want to help you put this into perspective.
Yeah, you love to came out can you go for I
cannot recollect exactly what happened. My belief. These people were all 50 of them were brought to Baba Job's compound. From Baba Job's compound. Because I think the Navy, the state guard people brought, they were with a pickup.
State guard I
want to believe they took some to Kotu.
Probably
somebody else took them to court. But the reason why I'm believing senior counsel's story, that is what makes more sense. That the boss on its way brought these people before Baba Job's compound. And when I came, you know, whatever I found there, that was it. But I didn't even have the slightest doubt that these people were going to disappear.
Perhaps, Mr. Chair, maybe I should just help here.
Yes.
I am not testifying. I am not a witness.
Exactly.
The proposition that I made to you was just to ask a question and for you to react to it. It is not my theory or it is not my position. It's just to ask whether there was a possibility that people may have been dropped off along the way. But
come in left them in Senani Laja. Ntamanke moti mi alanko ntabe sede andro di kanjande. Ntep misalima le ninga le ye jabiroke. No misalimo isafo fo nga la nyami fo wolem fo wonte. Left away senia commission onyati.
But for whatever it is worth, witnesses can only testify to what they know. Sometimes what they know may not make sense because there is a bit that they do not know. So perhaps we should appreciate the bit that they do not know, recognize it as a gap as it is, and to try to chase that gap from elsewhere. Just like the two witnesses of this morning, they have said slightly different things, but most of what they said was almost identical. The difference, the reason is because they saw things from different perspectives. What this witness did not know is that his boss also went to the ground, and that boss would be called to testify on Thursday. And all these questions that Commissioner Kinte asked, very important questions, would be answered that day by that witness. And the simple reason is that he was along the same route with this guy, but this guy did not know that. And what that his boss saw and what he saw are very similar, but also fundamentally different, because they were at different points. So I'll encourage Commissioner Kinte to be patient a little bit. All his doubts would be cleared when that witness testifies. I say this because I have the advantage of having the evidence in my possession and seeing things. So you can take it from me that the questions you ask would be answered on Thursday.
Thank you very much, Council. Now I'm moving to the case of Ibu Sise and Mahmoud Joe. If I recollect, you said you brokered or made some arrangement involving the arrangement of their where they rent or whatever. Throw some light on that.
They rented a house, and the person they rented is acquainted to me. The guy asked me to prepare him, help him tenancy agreement. I think it was their first or second or third week. After the preparation of the tenancy agreement, never saw to sign it. So when my neighbor told me, I told him go to Birkama Area Council, ask for permission so that they come and open the house and remove these people's stores so that you can have your house and rent it. That's what they did. Birkama Area Council came, took charge of whatever was there. Virtually there was nothing.
Okay, so you have never known anything about them from that one day only. You had never interacted with them and never inquired about them.
Never seen them.
But you were assigned to go to Bissau. Few weeks or few months later.
Maybe a year or 2 years.
After a year or so.
Maybe over a year, over 2 years.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there are no further questions from commissioners, Mr. Jallow, if you have any concluding remarks to make, please proceed.
Mr. Jallow,
thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Council members.
Council Dokulal, Council.
All the commissioners seated here.
Commissioner and David Sirinya.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Musukafuke Membeya.
It's not easy to sit here, but it's also very appreciative that one is part of this process. Because sincerely speaking, what this country have gone through, and the retardedness it has taken this country, it will take a long time to recover. And I only hope all of us as Gambians rally behind the slogan, never again. But let it just not be a slogan. But we have to live it. I encourage every Gambian for this slogan to be our food, to be our water. Because we thank God some of us are alive. And thank God many people are alive to demonstrate the seriousness of what has happened. Nobody should understate. And so to be part of this, to be given this opportunity, I cannot say thank you enough. So that we help clarify issues that are not clear. And in our small way, help. But Mr. Chairman, a lot of things has been said here, particularly regarding NIA following politicians. I am telling you, I'm under oath, I've not followed one politician. And I know generally this is the case. If it has to happen, it would be informed by a need. But it also shows the deficiencies or the gaps. And every NIA officer. And this is international best practice. Your work is evolving around espionage. National security issues that borders on documentary stealing and related issues. Or sabotage. You have a responsibility, you don't want to carry it out, you want to bring the whole system down. Bridges cannot be built, school cannot be built. Or terrorism or insurgency. This is what I have lived. This is the training and doctrine I inculcate into every man. and women that have served under me. And generally, this is what is supposed to be obtained. But previously, I said there were ups and downs, there were gaps. And those are one of the gaps, or some of the gaps. So generally, I don't want any politician to hold that this is the so. Or this is the case. I wish there was time. I will have demonstrated how much we protected politicians. Sometimes, even if they say no. Because we feel as an obligation. Their security form part of the national security again. And so I just want to thank you very much and appreciate this interaction. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
Thank you again very much, Mr. Jallow, for your testimony. We will resume our proceedings tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. Thank you again, Mr. Jallow. Meeting is adjourned.
The Gambia may be the smallest country in Africa, but it will host the second largest gathering of world leaders in 2022. To successfully host the OIC Summit and put the Gambia on the global stage, the government of the Gambia set up OIC Gambia to mobilize resources for the implementation of key development and infrastructure projects on a scale never seen before. 20 new roads will be constructed across the country, and the Bertel-Harding Highway will be expanded into a dual carriage highway of 2 lanes on each side from the airport to Sting Corner. All people in the Gambia deserve clean water and a constant flow of electricity. Therefore, an entirely new water system will be constructed, including new transmission and distribution networks to meet the increasing demand. In order to provide a more reliable supply of electricity, the OIC Gambia project will replace and double the capacity of the NAWEC transformers and overhead electric cables. We will equip the police with modern apparatus and technical training in an effort to keep the streets of the Gambia safe. By building the largest international conference center in the region, a 5-star hotel with state-of-the-art facilities, first-class mobility services, and improving the VVIP experience at the Banjul International Airport, OIC Gambia will position the Gambia as the leading conference destination in West Africa. With our partners in the tourism sector, we will reinforce the preeminent position of our nation, the Smiling Coast, as a go-to destination. The OIC Gambia will create strategic partnerships that calls for the involvement of local talent and businesses as a matter of requirement. In short, OIC Gambia projects will create jobs, boost commerce, accelerate growth, improve the urban outlook and lifestyles of many families across the Gambia. So let's support the OIC Gambia as it prepares us for one of the biggest global events. OIC Gambia, building today for a better tomorrow.
tey moom dama ne naa ñëw xool si sa tabax gi.
loolu nag kontaan naa si bu baax.
seen nag yow kontaan nga waaye man kontaanuma ndax bul fàtte ne man ak yow ñoo bokkoon nekk bitim réew ma yónnee xaalis bu bëri pour ñu sampal ma suma néeg waaye bi ma ñëwee ba agsi li ma fa fekk sama xol neexut parce que tabax gi àggut fenn te xaalis bu bëri laa ci ñàkk. yow nag bi ma waxee ne da ngay samp ak léegi yàggut dara.
non yàggut.
tey ma ñëw gis sa tabax gi toll fii car macha allah Sen lan mooy sa secret.
Touré man suma secret mooy baluwo.
Baluwo kon su ma la déggee baluwo dañuy yëngu tamit ci wàllu samp.
waaw.
ni ngay def nag yomb na da ngay log on to www.baluwo.com mun ngaa jënd ci ñoom ciment suuf banta weñ ba ci daaj yi nga xam ne di nga ko soxla lépp lu jëm ci wàllu samp rek mun nga koo am ci lu yomb ak baluwo daal yaay dugal sa xaalis fi nga ko bëgg a amee ko ci ni nga ko bëggee.
Star GSM fele promotion bana fina molye minu be mararin tanko bundala Gambia banku kanjang minu buko policeol armed forceol immigration customs ani lanjurtol datalar bala keta smartphone la minka sanu wini worola sang wini woro doma isa soto minka sanu wini woro sang wini lu minka sanu wini lu sang wini nani manda smartphone doma simple phone fanan minu ka sanu kemenula sang kemenani talulu milbe kemenani talulu sang keme sabatalu ning original techno simple phone minu ka sanu keme konontola sang keme worola isa soto mobile ambulance keme woro doma Star GSM e tabletu soto le pro dinol wuli kilin keme sey doma isa soto nin tabletul milka sim card uta wili fula keme saba isa soto HD universal remote ul fanan bijele flat screen ul mini yalon ko la receiver be konole 42 lombang wala 43 inches isi soto no $4,999 wala $8,999 Star GSM manda wodom mala ngani original face mask ul sotole minsal tanka coronavirus sotola nga air freshenal fanan sotole pour alla sabati dinkiral aning official nyim bala muran tulol fanan bijele nyim flash couple ka bonali america al se muna fangala al official do wala alla sabati dinkiral pour jikando wala jisuma anda se sambanu tilo mume ngani designer spray fanan sotaliere min zero ka tarafengo bala fo montoro wati monni nani andi botanam france le anin dubai isina jibe no na bumbato min fele kombosila drive serekunda oje johnson nyati lingol wala nanyun kunkilim bitikol min fele talindi marseto anin tabo koto traffic light oto isen kumandino 7002494 wala 9901122 Star GSM mfanankan kato dango kele puru mimbe banko sambala nyato Star GSM
lututi lu bari wusi coronavirus lu lawla jangoro bi aka deger boppa ngala jox ma sa noppa corona can be transferred to another if a person sneezes that doesn't mean the person has it neysa
Alaikum salam. Nenda? Sen fan bi ñata la? Abi. Ah, comme yele la.
Sorry, soxna si balal ma.
Ah,
balal ma. Check la bala ngay do.
Nga gele nañu xé corona.
Lo gis? Mu ngi may mama. Yow de yow yalla rek la fay. Yow fo amé li? Mon dama am ay béréb liggéey kay yu bare té dama bëgg sétu suma liggéey kat seen wër gu yaram.
Deug la.
Té li dama ko wara am. Ut na ko fu nekk mënuma ko am.
Gis nga li na am ko yóbbu na de.
Ha?
Mu fi.
Li foo ko amee yow?
Gis nga bu fekkee da nga koo soxla.
Waaw.
Dawal Kairaba Avenue. Boo jógee Westfield mel ni kuy dem Kairaba Avenue.
Waaw.
Booy rombu Alliance Franco rek.
Waaw.
Rombu AIC.
Waaw.
Building bi ci topp.
Waaw.
ñu koy wax smartphone house.
Waaw.
Boo fa duggee rek loo ci soxla ñu jaay la ko.
Yow man foofu dinaa fa dinaa ci mën a am lu bari lu tolloog fukka.
Loo ci soxla ñu jaay la ko te ni nga ko bëggee noonu lañ koy defee.
Gis nga yow da nga muus gis nga lii waxuma la man rek waaye ku nekk daf ko war a ut.
Maa la wax loolu.
Lii jaaduwul rek ci place yi dafa jaadu ci kër yi jaadu ci béréb liggéeykaay compagnie yu mag yi.
te boo ko amee nag te c'est prévu sa xel dafay dal.
wax dëgg yàlla
te ñëpp a
bari na ñuy dox foog ne ñu ngi feebar te ragal a dem lopitaan.
maa la wax lii de
jërëjëf yow dama la yàgg a bëgg a waaye tey la rawatina.
boo paree dem fa ñu jaay la ko boo àggee rek ñu dul la ko.
Public notice: abusive language on radio stations. The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority (PURA) has notes with significant concern the proliferation of abusive, uncouth and incendiary language on some radio stations in the country. Whilst the authority has continually advocated for the development of a free, independent and democratic media space, certain actions will not be tolerated. The authority, in its drive to ensure media plurality, welcomes interactive radio programming in the form of call-ins and online loops. These platforms, however, are degenerating into platforms for abuse through the constant use of insults and unsavory language antithetical to the cultural norms and values of Gambian society. In addition, it has come to the attention of the authority that some stations are playing uncensored music with graphic language using peak daytime hours especially. Broadcasters are hereby requested to actively moderate call-ins and live programs. Section 238 subsection 1 of the IC Act 2009 requires licensees to store sound and video recordings of all programs for a period of 3 months. The authorities shall conduct moderating visits in this regard to all licensees to ensure adherence to these provisions. As a final note of caution, all radio station owners are hereby warned to devise programming as per the tenets of the IC Act, individual radio station license and the Broadcasting Code of Conduct. Failure to do so shall result in enforcement action against default licensees as per the provisions of the PIGRA Act, IC Act and relevant broadcasting regulations. Whilst the authority remains resolved to actively monitor the content of all broadcasting stations, the general public is also urged to report any instances of the use of abusive and foul language on any broadcast platform by calling the authority's toll-free line 148 free of charge. Compliance by all broadcast providers is expected. PURA, working towards equity in development through professionalism and partnership.
ñu ngi leen di nuyu di ànd ak yéen di seede ne àddina dafa yaatu te liy dund ci àddina yi itam amul dayo te mboolem luy dund ci àddina mu ngi ut lu mu lekk ni nit di utee lu mu lekk doom yi ñuy ooyee jàngoro di nekk ci yarami nit ci biti ba wala ci biir ba yooyu itam luy ut pour dund la li nga xam ne nag moom lañ jànkoon teel nekk na loo xam ne li mu ngi dund ci nit di aw ci gémmiñam wala ci bakkanam wala ci bëtam moo tax ñu ne lii nekkaatul feebari caaxaan ndax feebari àddina la ñu ne nag gannaaw xalaat mooy jur jëf te jëf di yar jikku nit moo tax ñii nii gis ne seen warugan la pour eete pour ngeen xam feebar bi ne du feebari caaxaan gannaaw duggagul ci réew mi nam war a duggee ñu ne waxtaan wi mooy tere ko pour bu mu dugg nam war a duggee tere ko nag li mu laaj nga xam ni moo duggee ci biir nit gannaaw ñu ne soo saqatee mu dem ci loxo nga jox keneen loxo mu am ko moo tax ñu ne bon nañu wàññi joxante loxo yi te itam nañuy raxas loxo yi gannaaw soo saqatee nit jege la mun nga ko wàll ñu ne bon nag nañ kuy saqat utal nooy fexe ba saqat ba du jege keneen ka ak itam di jël sa musuwaar ba nga xam ne wala say loxo ba gis ne keneen ki du ko jot lii moo waral ñu ne dafa am lu bëri lu ñu war a wëcci ci suñu doxalin tey ci suñu dundin tey ci li ñu miin ndax dañ day bokk ndab foog ñu seetaat loolu dañ day bokk poti ndaa foog ñu seetaat loolu moo tax fu ñu dem fi mu nekk nii ku ko mën mu ngi seet bunte boo xam ne mbooloo daf fay am ñu seet luñ fay def ndax nga mun a raxasu balaa ngaa dugg ca marché ba wala dugg ca lopitaan ba wala dugg ca school ba fu mun a doon rek foo xam ne fii mbooloo nga fa benn ñu arrêté gum ñun doomi Gambia nañu xam ne ànd ci xalaat bennoo ci xalaat ànd ci jëf bennoo ci jëf mooy kattan bi nga xam ne ci lañ mun a xeexee jàngoro bi moo tax kuy dëkklu waxtaan bi tey nag nga xam ne am nga ca waar jéemal xam feebar bi ni muy duggee ci biir nit ki ni muy yàq ci biir nit ki nga pare yow sa bopp xelalal ñeneen yi nga xam ne ñoom itam du ñu bàyyi ba sàggan ba feebar bi dal ci seen kaw loolu la ñuy wax nag ne liy raafal bakkan kooku kenn waratu koo caaxaane te yow yaa war a dimbale docteur yi ñu ne bon nag soo gisee tàngoor bu jéggi dayoo ci sa yaram saxat boo mënatoo xam fi mu jógee néew doole goo xam ne gi yaa ngi koy yëg ñu ne na nga téléphone 1025 ndax nga wane ne soxla nga ndimbal loolu daal soo ko defee mu ngi leen ni nekk nga docteur ndax ki nga xam ne mooy fexe ba bu ñu fexe feebar bi law daanaka bokk na ci nga xam ne ci mooy docteur yi ndax fexe feebar ak faj ko ñoo yem.
For the first time in the Gambia, your favorite GSM operator, Africell, is the first and only GSM operator to launch a brand new technology called the eSIM. The eSIM simply means you can use your phone without a SIM card. Do you have an iPhone 11, any of the iPhone X series, a Google Pixel 3, or any new phone that supports the e-technology? Then walk into any Africell customer care center and activate your eSIM today. With your virtual Africell SIM, you can use more than one number without having a physical SIM card in your phone. Enjoy this brand new technology for the first time in the Gambia, brought to you by Africell. eSIM, your phone without a SIM card. For more information, please call 111. Where Africell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Malal Baidi Musa. Gilai lam manna jawoko alam termes jaja bendogani berima lam termes lam targa jawoko jaja bendogani berima almamebe jaja bendogani Haruna Musa ben badayimaka gilay satigebe hayam almamebe jaja bendogani badayima Haruna Musa jaja Haruna Musa malal baidi Musa Haruna Musa Maria sebagai siri Bogedaru daru banal Haruna Maimuna tafsiru damayo yam jaja Haruna Musa jaja bendoka mi wendu bose ya kale babo